Happy morning, everybody. Joan Nielsen here. I was, I just couldn't sleep last night, I guess. I was up later than usual, and then I woke up at like 3:30, and then I'm up now at like 6:30. And I just have so many thoughts at 3:30 when I woke up. I didn't really know what to do, what I wanted to do, and I thought, well, I'll just lay and read. I don't get a lot of chance to read. I listen to a lot of audios, but I don't get a lot of chance to actually read a book. And I have a book that I have been wanting to read for a while. So it's called You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. And I read the whole first chapter, and well, from the beginning of the book and up to the first chapter, and it's really interesting. I see things, I'm starting to see things differently, and it's really interesting I guess that's my favorite word today, really interesting, how we perceive things and how we think about things. And even before, when I would think about relationships or money or a job or a career or whatever it is, I see things differently now. And this first chapter brought a little bit more light onto my thought process. Everything I'm reading and listening to and everything that pops up for me is all heading to this same belief system, to the same aha moment. And it's so amazing. I love when that happens. But what if, here's my thought for you for the day. What if you had, like, just say you had $1 million in the bank and you never ever had to worry about money, because no matter how much you used, it always just came back. It just always went right back into the bank. What if that was possible? Let's just say for a minute, you would never ever worry about money again because you always have it, right? That is so interesting to me, because I have lived in fear consciousness for so long that I forgot what it was like to live in faith consciousness, abundant consciousness. It's, if you had, let's say for a relationship, you had the most amazing relationship that nothing about it was it was super duper amazing, and everything was fantastic about it. You never found yourself upset about it. It was the best thing you ever had. You would never ever worry about losing it. You would never ever worry about that other person being somebody that they aren't, because you love them unconditionally. They are who they are, and that's why your relationship is so amazing. What if you already had that career job that you want, that career, that business? Your business is booming. You're doing what you love. It's so amazing. Everything is happening for you. You would never ever worry about not doing what you don't love, because you're already doing it. We worry about not getting somewhere in life. We worry about not having enough income to support us. We worry about the relationship that we're in. We're worrying about our own health. We're worrying about our children. We're worrying about everything. We worry about everything. We allow our fear-based consciousness to come in, and we don't live the life we truly are intended to live. I knew I had a friend once, and many times in our life together, in our short time together, we were really good friends, and we really liked each other. I was in a relationship with my ex-husband, and even when my ex-husband and I were separated, I never even once had the thought process that he was interested in me. And when he and a friend of mine hooked up, she would not leave us alone in the same room. It was very weird. We'd been friends for like ever, but she was like always in front of him, always making that they were a great couple, and I never even, it just seemed really weird to me, like why would you why would you like act like that when him and I have been friends for longer than this girl and I had been friends, but I never put much thought to it. And then I asked him, I said, doesn't it seem weird that she's always, like having to be in front of you and, stuff like that? When you and I are talking, she immediately comes into the room and has to stand in front of you. And he told me that it's probably because she read a love letter he had written to me. And I didn't even know this guy had feelings like that for me. And I was like, what? Like, are you kidding me? Why wouldn't you tell me? But all this time, he was so worried about sharing his love with me that he never got the opportunity to. Because then he moved on with this girl, and of course I was back with my ex by that time. So interesting how people just don't want to take the chance. Money situations, people are afraid to believe that they can have as much money as they want. They're afraid, even if they have the money, to spend it because they're afraid to lose it all. So they're afraid to be a pauper, and they live in a pauper estate. I knew of a family who had lots of children, and this couple, after their children had all grown up, you would never ever think that they were millionaires. Never think about it. They lived in a tiny little house. They drove simple cars. They just, their clothes were always from the thrift store. They got a lot of their food. She worked at the food bank, so she took some donations home when they didn't give them to the homeless or to the people who needed them. They always lived in a pauper estate. And I understand that. And Bob Proctor talks about this in his book too. He himself knew somebody like that. And when the person died, they had over $1 million in their house. And the same with this couple. They had $1 million plus, but $1 million was just hidden away in their house. And in all different sections. So when they passed away, their children found all these different treasures of all this money. And it just blew my mind. Why wouldn't you want to travel, take your kids and your grandkids on a vacation? Why wouldn't you want to live that life? But people do different things, right? They're afraid to be poor. So they live in poverty, although they're saving their money so that they can die rich, I guess. I don't know. But then there's some people who are so afraid to have money. Not only do they talk themselves out of it by telling themselves they're broke, and boy, do they talk to themselves out of it being broke. And I know, I can verify, I was there, and I can tell you for a fact, I lived payday to payday, and I can tell you for a fact, I lived a very broke lifestyle. When I decided that I don't want to think that way anymore, I don't want to think that way anymore. And I constantly remind myself how I want to think. When you're in a relationship, sometimes it's a little difficult. So you have to really keep to yourself. You have to, because people believe different things, right? So their reality isn't going to be mine. And I want to keep true to my reality. I want to keep true to who I am. But I would fight my limitations. I would really want this person or that person or somebody to think like the way I've been trying to train myself. So I have somebody else to communicate with, right? But you can't do that because then you're fighting it. And you may not even be secure enough in you to believe what you're believing. So you're going to get trapped back down, right? You're going to get trapped back down to where you don't want to be anyways, and you're going to start having those negative thought processes and those worries and all those other things. So you really got to decide who you want to be, where you want to be, and what you want to be. If you want to be rich, start talking rich. Start talking yourself into the $1 million that is there and available for you. The universe is just waiting for you to line up with it. It's right there. Start talking about the amazing relationship that is already there for you. You just haven't aligned with that person yet, but it's right there in front of you. Don't be afraid to take chances. Contact that person about that career that you're wanting. You never know what's available. Stop being afraid of it and just go do it. Stop accepting second best when you are worth first. So big. We so constantly take just any job. We so constantly take just what is there, what we see is available. We're told jobs are scarce. We're told that there's a recession. We're told that it's difficult to make money. We're told all these things. And if we just stop listening and start listening to ourselves, to our beliefs, I tell you, I got the dream, I got the job I wanted, the job I was wanting at the time, which was a case management job. And there's so many things I can tell you about this job that there's no chance, as far as people were concerned, that I'd ever get it. And I got it because I was confident. I got it because I knew I deserved it. I knew I was worthy of this job. And when I got that job and I made the best of it, it was amazing. I loved that job. I really did. So many amazing things you can have. So many amazing things you can do. If you had $1 million, what would you be doing with it? Right now, what would you be doing? Would you go shopping? Would you take your family on a vacation? Would you buy a new house? Oh man, I would buy a house. Flat out. I would buy a house with property, and I would open a rescue. I definitely would. I love rescuing people or animals, and I love helping animals. And that is what made me so happy. I had a really awesome job, again, that I manifested, working at an animal shelter, and I loved it. I excelled so much, and I loved going and rescuing on a rescue, on an investigation, and I did investigations. I did quite a few investigations, and I loved them. I loved doing them. I loved going to a rescue and helping people, or helping the animals, helping the investigators and stuff collect all these animals. So amazing when you do stuff you want to do. I have a bird behind me, I think. It's so awesome. He's jumping around the flowers. I don't know if you can see him, but it's so cool. I love being a stay-at-home mom. I love working from home. I love coaching people. I love making these videos for you every single day. And I do them because they are so important. What I learn, I love sharing. Why? Because it's so important, and it might just get that one person to realize how truly, amazingly important they are. Because you are. When you start believing in you, when you stop looking at everybody around you and saying, oh, why can't I have that? Oh, why can't I have that? Oh, why can't I have that? When you start taking chances with yourself, when you start to realize that you have greatness inside you, as Les Brown says, amazing things happen for you. Stop taking yourself for granted. I started a network marketing business. Oh, I love this product. Oh, it was so amazing. And it was called the Discovery series. And it was from LifePath Unlimited. And it was really cool because they had different products available. But I just started with this one, and it was so cool. And it really started me, because I started on the path of law of attraction. Just after I got married, I got the first book that I had been introduced to, and it was really awesome reading that book. And then I was introduced to Wayne Dyer, so I started reading some of Wayne Dyer when I was pregnant. And then, of course, once Loki came, I put everything aside and became a full-time mom with him and Matt, and really that's what I wanted to do, is to be that mom. And then things happen, and things get out of control, and you forget what you learn if you don't keep learning. And I didn't keep learning. And that was my big mistake, is I didn't keep learning. So a whole bunch of things happened in between. Then I found that I needed to get back on this path of law of attraction and positive, inspirational, spiritual connections, aligning myself, being me, being confident. I was never confident. And now I'm very confident. I'm very happy. I will greet everybody. I will greet anybody. If anybody has a problem, all they need to do is send me a PM and I will help them. It's so truly amazing when you decide you come first, you're amazing, you have greatness in you, and you have a story to tell, so start telling it. Don't stand behind anybody else anymore. Shine your light brighter than you could imagine. Imagine having that $1 million. Imagine having that relationship. Imagine having that career, job, business, whatever it is. Imagine having that home. Spend time today visualizing this. 15, 20 minutes, 5 minutes for 3 to 4 times a day. So amazing, just imagining what your life can be like, and you will start appreciating your life so much more now because you're in it. You're alive, and you can change. Changing your thoughts is such an amazing thing, and it all starts with you. So start it today. Make it an amazing day, everybody.